Theatre crafts. So here the first point in the theatre crafts is storytelling. Everyone loves a good story. We have heard stories from our grandparents, parents, family, and friends throughout our childhood. In India, we have invented many ways of telling stories. A few of them are described as below. Puppetry. A puppet is a doll or figure representing a person, animal, object, or an idea and is used to tell stories. The puppet is made of various materials and can be moved in different ways. Puppets are classified as follows on the basis of the way they move in performance: string puppets, glow puppets, rod puppets, shadow puppets. Scroll paintings. There are different kinds of scroll paintings in India. Scroll paintings in India usually done on a cloth are narratives on different social and religious themes. The narrators sing and explain these themes, sometimes accompanied with by instrumentalists. Especially famous are the scroll paintings from Rajasthan, West Bengal, and Orissa. Theatre. Theatre is a great form of storytelling in which one or more actors using the skills of dancing, acting, singing, talking, miming, and theatre crafts like masks, makeup, and costumes create the story word for us. Every corner of India has its own unique form of folk theatre. The lively Nautanki of Uttar Pradesh, which often draws on romantic Persian literature for its themes. Raw vigor and body humor characterize the tamasha of Maharashtra or the bhavani of Gujarat. The blood and the thunder of the jatra melodramas of Bengal, which are in great demand during Puja Dasera festivities, or the dance drama of Yakshaganga from Karnataka, to name just a few. In this character, we look at only a few of these to encourage you to look and discover in any similar traditions that exist in your neighborhood. Theatre, a composite art form. Theatre is a composite art form in which many skills, arts and crafts are brought together. A wide range of craft objects are made especially for use in drama, dance, or music performance, such as the following: mask, makeup, headdresses, costumes, lightweighted jewelry, scenery and stages, music with drums and trumpets. The first one is mask. Why did an ancestor use masks, and why are they still being used in several parts of our country? In many tribal societies across the world, masks still have a ritual significance. People believe that by wearing or putting on a mask, the person becomes the character of the mask. Masks, those magical objects with which we cover our faces and assume a different identity, have a rich and varied tradition in our country. From the delicate pastel colored masks of shimmering head dresses worn by Chahu dancers of to the demon dance masks from of the Buddhist monasteries of Ladakh, to the inexpensive animal masks of paper mache available in our cities. India has a vast ancient tradition of masks and makeup for ritual and theatre. How the Chahu mask is made. The most beautiful masks in our country are made for the Chahu dance form. Chahu is a style performed exclusively by men from the triangular areas where Bihar, Bengal, and Orissa meet. This is a tribal belt of India, home to which tribal groups of Bhulia, Santhals, and Mundas, Hos, and Orans. The masks they use vary depending on the style of chow practiced. Sereya Kille Chahu or Purulia Chahu. In the third form of Chahu, Mayur Bhujan Chahu masks are not worn. Chahu mask is made of potter's clay, over which layers of muslin are pasted flowered by paper. Using a delicate wooden trellis, different features of a mask, such as chin, lips, are painted. Once it dries, mask making is a hereditary occupation and mask makers come from Chorinda village in Bengal. Masks are made made between February and June as it not rain at this time. As it does not rain at this time. But the fragility of the mask ensures it makers are always in high demands. It is only Chow that all the dancers wear masks. The sophistication of technique and expression is most evident when the mask is seen in a moment through it appears flat and neutral with their distinguished features or arched eyebrow and elongated hair, closed eyes. The mask acquire a whole range of expression with every twist and turn of the body, accompanied by a huge dhamsa drums and two energetic dhol players who provoke and encourage the dancers. The Chow dancers make lightning body movements known as chamak. Excavations have revealed small hollow masks dating back to the Indus Valley civilization. In fact, in the Bihar, a terracotta mask of 4th century has also been excavated. The Natya Shastra speaks of masks and their use in theatre. Here it is mentioned that the mask can be made of ground paddy husks applied to the cloth. The best known leather puppets in our country are those used in the Tholu Bomalatta of Andhra Pradesh. The origins of these puppets can be tracked back to the 2000 before Christ, as they are mentioned in Mahabharata. Leather puppets are made out of the hides of goats, deers, and buffaloes. The skin is treated with herbs and oils and then beaten it till it becomes translucent. The different parts of the puppet's body are separately cut out of the skin. Gods and heroes are made the largest in size because of their importance. Minute elaborate shapes are punched in the skin to delineate the gorgeous costumes and jewelry of each figure. Then they are dried according to the different color assigned to each of them. Carving out the eyes is done last for the symbolizes bring the figure to the life. The angle of the head has a significance. A downward glance suggests modesty. A high chin indicates arrogance. Colors too have meaning. Giant bullies and their kind have red faces, while white stands for a fiery nature. The pieces are then joined together and the thick knotted string with a thick knotted string, which facilitates easy movements. A split bamboo or a palm leaf stem is used for main central support for the puppet. The legs are loosely attached from below and the knees, and the manipulator can jerk the puppet to produce the swaying movement of the legs. The screen for the shadow puppet shown in a bamboo box-like stage erected in a open air. In the rural areas, very often oil lamps made of split coconut shells are used for lighting. The flickering light keeps the puppets in a constant movement and lends an air of magic to the show. Forms an intrinsic part of the puppet show, and making musical instruments is a major craft occupation all over India. Musical instruments. Music is an important component of performing arts like dance, drama, and rituals. Each community has its own style of music and traditions of songs. There are essentially two ways to make music, with, with the human voice and with an instrument. The musical instruments are classified on the basis of the scientific principle used to create the sound they make. They are briefly described as instruments. These instruments are struck to produce sound. Often these are used to produce the tal or the beat and do not produce the musical notes, manjira or cymbals. Wind instruments. These need air to flow through them to produce sound, like bansuri and flute. String instruments. These instruments are used one or many tightly strings when struck vibrate to create sound. For example, veena. Drums. A drum is a membrane stretched across a hollow frame and played by striking it. Drums of India. A membrane made of a hide tautly stretched over a bowl of frame is the key element of generating drum sound, which is why this family of musician instrument is called membranophones. Membranophones, tablas, dholaks, damrus, nagadas, chenads, are many other fall in this category. Drum makers are specialists choosing a solid block of wood to create just the right pitch to skilled work and is very exacting. Although the drum base is sometimes carved, the craftsman is more concerned with the audio effect of the cavity, its size and the shape and the thickness of the wood that is to be used than the form of the decoration of the drum. Dholak. We came across the dholak walla most commonly in our cities. Though it looks like a dholak making involves a great deal of effort to start with, the wood has to be perfectly seasoned. Dholak wallas buy the ready-made wooden shells primarily from Amroha in Uttar Pradesh. The shells are smoothed and vigorously polished with a special mud paste. Thick string is toughened and interwoven through hooks in the shell. Goat leather flaps are hemmed into the two sides, and the dholak is ready. Damru. It is a tiny two-sided drum that often used as a string and a stone to fix it. It is used by the Madari. Nagada. It is a large resounding drum used in North India as accomplished by folk performers in Nautanki, or traditionally to announce the arrival of royalty, it is played using drumsticks. Its South Indian counterpart is the chenda, that produces the sharp precaution that accompanies with Kathakali dancers. Wind instruments. In folk music, a variety of wind instruments are popular. For example, flutes, played both horizontally and vertically. Algoja, Pava, Satara, Turri, Shehnai, Shank, Bean, etc. Bean. The snake charmer's bean, a reed wind instrument of a strange shape, is the another commonplace sight in our cities. A bean is made of a kaddu that has been dried and hollowed out. The saperas plant the ground creepers themselves in a special way so that the ground does not touch the ground. Following growing on the creeper, it develops a fully elongated shape best suited for making a beam. The sapphira selects a particular gourd and dries it in the shade, as the rays of sun can produce cracks on the outer skin. The gourd is then cleaned, seasoned, and holes are made on the on the top and the bottom of the instruments. The panja, or the reed portion, is made separately. Two bamboo sticks about a foot long are attached to the gourd with the beeswax. On the panjas provided a one, one of the panja is provided a constant steady note, a drone, while the other is fashioned like a flute, with all the seven swars or notes tuned before it is attached. A fine tongue or kulk reed, kanna, is inserted in both the panjas so that the tonal quality remains the same. The instrument is then blown upon to produce different melodies. The bean is accompanied by percussion instruments like the bagdo, duff, or dholki. A complete bean orchestra consists of two beans, a bagdo, a dholak, and a duff. Percussion instruments. Chikka. It is an instrument unique to Punjab, similar to the cane snake available in many parts of the country. The chikka is made of the 14 wooden sticks joined together as a lattice. By opening and sharply shutting the chikka, a sharp sound is made, similar to clapping is produced. Chimta, very similar to an actual pair of tongs used in the kitchen. The chimta is a small metal disc loosely attached to it with a strike against each other when the arms of the chimta are stuck. Mashak. It is made of the leather bag used by villagers to transport the water. It is like a basic bagpipe, the national musical instrument of Scotland. The mashak is usually played by the dholis of Rajasthan as accompan- accompaniment to popular folk melodies. Kirla. It is a stick with a carved squirrel or fish at the top. A cord fixed to the top jerks the gallard up with a sharp click, while bells fixed to the bottom of the kirla jingle. Khadtal. We often see the instrument depicted in the hands of Mirabai or the other Bhakti-Kalin poets of the medieval period. Held in one hand and Khandatal is made of two similar pieces of wood with brass fitting. One piece of it has a string for a thumb, the other has four fingers. These are stuck together to produce a simple percussive beat. It is easy to see the close resemblance between the khadtal and the Spanish castanets, used as a accompaniment for the famous flamenco music and dance, manjira. These form an important part of the Tera Tali dance, where they are worn all over the body. Manjiras are a pair of flat metallic discs that are beaten together to produce a rhythmic metallic sound. Apart from a pair of manjira held in each hand, the Tera Tali dancer wear a manjira on their legs and additional ones on their arms and shoulders. Seated on the ground, they rotate and sway, each movement being punctuated by rhythmic sound of several manjiras coming in contact with one another. String instruments, in which sound is produced by striking the string made of iron, steel, brass, or other metals, as a goat's gut, cotton, silk, thread, etc., are well known as the string chordophonic instruments. Some of the string instruments, such as ektara, ravanhatta, and gopi jantra, are used as accompanying instruments in traditional performances. Bhopas used to ektara while performing Bapuji Ka Wad, a traditional storytelling performance of Rajasthan.